She sits by the window of a grand palace, yet her heart feels empty. The golden glow of the setting sun casts long shadows across the floor. But in her world, there is only darkness. Sheikh Hamdan's wife, adorned in silk and jewels, has everything the world could offer, yet the one thing she truly longs for drifts further away from her grasp. Love, once warm and tender, now feels like a distant memory, a whisper in the wind that no longer reaches her ears. She watches as the birds take flight, soaring freely in the open sky, and she wonders, why does her heart feel caged? She is surrounded by beauty, by elegance, by the finest luxuries known to mankind. But her soul aches for something far more precious: companionship, understanding, the gentle touch of love that once wrapped around her like a comforting embrace. The corridors of the palace are vast. The halls echo with laughter and footsteps, yet she feels alone. The voices around her do not call her name the way they used to. The eyes that once gazed at her with admiration now pass her by, as if she has become but a shadow in the grand scheme of things. There was a time when his words were soft, like petals, each syllable falling upon her like a caress. Now, silence sits between them, a vast ocean impossible to cross. He is there, yet he is absent. His duties, his responsibilities, the weight of the world rest on his shoulders, and she understands. But in understanding, she is left behind, forgotten in the quiet corners of her heart. She longs for his voice, for the warmth of his gaze, for the gentle way he once held her hand, promising that she would never walk alone. But promises, like the wind, sometimes fade with time. She walks the gardens alone, where once they strolled side by side. The roses bloom, their fragrance rich, in the evening air, but they do not bring her joy as they once did. Every petal, every leaf whispers memories she dares not hold too tightly, for fear they will slip through her fingers like grains of sand. The world sees her as a queen, a woman of grace and beauty, yet they do not see the sorrow that nestles deep within her soul. She does not speak of it, for who would listen? Who would understand the pain of having everything yet feeling as though she has nothing? Nights are the hardest. The vast bed feels colder, the silence heavier. She turns to where he once lay beside her, but the space remains empty more often than not. Duty calls him away, and she knows she cannot ask him to stay. She tells herself she is strong, that she must endure, that love does not always wear the same face forever. Yet her heart whispers doubts in the quiet hours of the night. Is she still the woman he once cherished? Does he still see her, or has she become just another figure in the palace, a presence unnoticed in the grand tapestry of his life? She does not weep where others can see. Instead, she smiles, she nods, she plays her part well. The world expects perfection, and she delivers it flawlessly. But behind closed doors, when no eyes watch, she lets herself feel the weight of loneliness, the sting of longing, the ache of a love that seems to be slipping through her fingers. It all crashes over her like waves against the shore. She wonders if he notices. She wonders if he still thinks of her the way she thinks of him, or if time has carried him too far from the days when love was effortless and overflowing. She recalls the moments when they laughed under the moonlight, when his voice was the sweetest melody she had ever known. She remembers the way he would pull her close, whispering promises that felt eternal. But time is a cruel master, and love, if not nurtured, can wither like a flower left in the scorching sun. She wonders if he knows the depth of her pain, or if he believes that silence is easier than facing the truth. She wonders if he, too, feels the distance between them, or if he has grown accustomed to it, accepting it as the way things are meant to be. She does not wish for grandeur or riches, for she has all of that and more. She does not wish for the admiration of the world, for it means nothing if the one she loves no longer sees her the way he once did. She wishes only for his presence, for the warmth of his love, for the quiet moments where she does not feel like a ghost drifting through the halls of her own home. She wonders if love can be rekindled, if the ember that still glows faintly in her heart can once again burst into flame. The night sky stretches endlessly above her as she sits in the garden, staring at the stars. She whispers a silent plea into the wind, hoping that somehow it will find its way to him. That somehow he will hear her heart's longing. That somehow love will find its way back home. For now, she waits, wrapped in the sorrow of love's fading light, hoping that dawn will bring with it the warmth she so desperately seeks.